All right, good morning, traders. Today is February 26, 2025. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. Hey, thank you for being here. I want to thank everybody in digital land, podcast land, cyber land. Thank you for finding value in my content. Appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for being a member. And thank you for signing up to my content. I appreciate that. Actually, I love that. All right. My SPY pivot this morning, 593.40. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. Diamond Dow made an outside day, closing under a bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. SPY in a daily downtrend, but still bullish up there. Let me just say that. All right, closed with a 2-hour downtrend and a 10-minute downtrend. IWM, SPY, QQQ, FNGU, all of them yesterday made lower lows and lower highs, closing under bearish traps under the 17 EMAs. Silver and gold both in uptrends. Gold made a lower low and a lower high, closing under a bullish trap, but over the 17 EMA. Silver, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. UNG in a daily uptrend made a higher high and a higher low, consolidating up there in quadrant 4. Love that. Closing above a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. USO made a lower low and a lower high, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 US dollar index in a downtrend. Closed near the 106.24 area. Today, SPY max pain is 595 with only 2/3 of one put to each call that expires today at 4:15. All right, let's go take a look at some charts and see what all this means. All right, let's move this down. All right, so yesterday, okay, we got price in the 3 underneath the 8. So we had a 10-minute downtrend coming into the close yesterday. You can see the last candle here. It's underneath the 17, underneath the 8 EMA. That's the white line. So 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. Little bounce going on there. Take a look at the 2-hour chart. On the 2-hour chart, we have, you see candles and the 3 EMA underneath the white line. That's the 8 EMA and the falling 17. That's the red dots. Okay, so all of that equals a downtrend. See the space between the candle, the price action, and the 8 EMA. All right, so we have a 10-minute downtrend going into the close. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. Looks like they're flipping it around now. We'll see if the bulls are ready to step in here at major support. Okay, you can see right here, this is all of this consolidation through here. It's about a month and a half of consolidation. And this is the major support area right through here. It's actually probably about back here, but this is the end of the line right here. If we get below this, it's a good chance. Guess what? We're coming to check this breakup candle low all the way back here at 575.75 right there. All right. So if we break below this tail that exists down here, good chance we're coming all the way down there to check out that. All right, so we'll see what happens. There's SPY. We got NVIDIA earnings tonight after the close. NVIDIA has about $3.4 trillion of market cap. That means they have the capability of moving the markets greatly. And I'm talking $20, $30. So please be hedged by closing time. All right, so there's 2-hour chart, 2-hour downtrend. Take a look at the daily chart. Daily chart, lower high. Here's yesterday, is the day before's candle. Lower high, lower low. Notice the bulls maintained control most of that candle yesterday. See that big tail? All right, this is something you don't want to buy into or short into. Why? Because it shows you that the bulls were operating. All right, it's all about knowing your candlesticks. You have way more tail than you do body and wick up here. Okay, so the bulls were definitely operating here at major support. Okay, so price action, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. Technically, we broke the low. We're in a downtrend, all right? But, all right, up here, it's backed out, way out. Let's take this off because we don't need that, and we don't need this either. Okay, got to clean this up. Just a second here. Okay, so we're still up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish, all right? But we have a habit of moving up and giving it up, moving up and giving it up. But we're still up here in quadrant 4, consolidating in this bull flag. All right, so we'll take this, map out that bull flag. You see price goes up and then over to the right, okay? So we're still in that bull flag. Sloppy bull flag, but nonetheless, up here in quadrant 4, that's still bullish. All right, so there's SPY on the daily chart, still bullish up here. We are losing some ground because we closed, see how we closed right here? Below the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. And, you know, if I move this over here, it's below the all-time high anchored VWAP, all right? So we'll see what happens. Don't want to lose this upper third, don't want to lose this quadrant, all right? So there's SPY on the daily chart. Let's take a look at the game plan. All right, we'll zoom in here for the game plan. Slide this over. Okay, for the game plan, you can see price, you have a red erases green scenario. Okay, underneath 590.87. That would be the bears erasing everything that the bulls did yesterday in the pre-market and post-market in yesterday's session. Okay, so that would be your bearish entry on the downside. I would be careful with that one. We're at major support. I would expect it to hold for, you know, maybe a day or so or more, like maybe another day. We'll see what happens. And they very well could spike it. I mean, they already did, but be careful on this one. It may not work out because we're at major support. All right, so there's SPY. All right, there is a entry below 590.87. On the bullish side, all right, we have green erases red. All right, green erases red over 595.89. All right, that would be the bulls erasing what the bears have done. So the bullish entry is 595.89. We'll see what happens. The pivot today, 593.40 or 593.25. Either one works. This is the SPY game plan. I like options that expire on Friday because they have more open interest. So that would be either 2 DTEs or 9 DTEs, okay? I like them $2 to $5 out of the money, especially if I have a small account that I just building for the very first time, all right? I want to sacrifice a little bit of performance, all right, to take on a little bit less risk, all right? If you want the very best, the highest performing option, all right, dollar for dollar, almost penny for penny, it's going to be the 0 days till expiration in the money option. That will almost give you penny for penny, dollar for dollar performance, sometimes even better, all right, in the markets if that's what you choose to use, all right? All right, that'll give you the very best performance. But let me just say, when SPY moves $1 in 10 minutes or 15 minutes or $2, okay, if you're holding a couple contracts, all right, it could be the difference between, you know, $300 and $700, all right? That's how fast it could move. All right, you could find yourself at break even, and the next thing you know, you're down $700. But that's going to give you the highest performance. But again, with performance comes risk. All right, so we sacrifice a little bit of risk, a little bit of performance to take on a little less risk by choosing $2 to $5 out of the money. All right, just saying that right up front. If you want the best performance, take the 0 DTE. Make sure you got your direction right. All right, and then you want the in the money option. All right, that'll give you the highest performance. All right, so there's the SPY game plan. All right, because we're all starting new accounts, small ones, we want to pick $2 to $5 out of the money. All right, and we choose Friday options. All right, because they got a little bit more safety. There's more liquidity there. All right, that's why we choose what we choose. But I'm just saying, if you want the highest performance, pick the 0 DTE. That's the one in the money. All right, so there's SPY. There's the game plan. Let's take a look at the QQQ game plan. Okay, QQ game plan, very similar. Pivot, 523.07, bearish entry, 510.65. That's price underneath, 510.65. Bullish entry, price over, 516.10. All right. Price action, again, same options, 2 to 9 DTEs, 2 or 9 DTEs, Friday options, all right, that are $2 to $5 out of the money. Okay, that's what we like, especially when we're starting out a new account or we have a small account and we can't afford to drop below 25K. Okay, so there's the QQQ game plan. The bullish entry is, the pivot is, thank you, Chip. The pivot is 512.90. I'll have to fix that. Thank you, Chip. Let me just snap that real quick and fix that. And file save as. Thank you, Chip. All right, so the pivot is 512.90. All right. Thank you, Chip. He caught that. It's down here, not 523. I had the line here, but the verbiage was wrong. All right. So let's go to the daily chart. Look at the QQQ. Pick it up on the scratch. All right. What do we got here? Lower high, lower low. This is the daily chart. Closing below all-time high anchored VWAP. Prior all-time high anchored VWAP. Closing below bearish trap, below 17 EMA. Still up in the upper third. That's still bullish up there. Have not broken major support. Okay, major support's down here. You can see price action bull flagging. Price moves up and over to the right. That's sloppy bull flag. Still showing the inverted head and shoulders there. All right, starting to lose it. Look like they want to test or decapitate the head the way they came down here yesterday. All right, so still bullish up here in the upper third. All right, we'll see what happens this week. There's QQQ. Let's take a look at FNGU. All right, FNGU breaks the major support, but then recovers by end of day. Okay, price action, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap underneath the 17, no longer in the upper third, just neutral here on FNGU. All right, breaking the uptrend, losing the uptrend line, breaking the major support, and not in the upper third, so it's just neutral. All right, unless that is the upper third and it's still holding on to it. All right, let's take a look at IWM. Lower high, lower low, about to break major support here. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, underneath the uptrend line. Just neutral here. Again, moving up and giving it up. Okay, price moves up, gives it up, that's neutral. Okay, price moves up and holds the higher ground, that's bullish. All right, price moves up, gives it up and more, that's bearish. Right now, almost giving it up and more, and they recovered yesterday afternoon. Okay, so there's IWM. All right, just neutral here underneath this midpoint right there. Okay, so let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow got an outside date. It's a higher high and a lower low, closing almost, I'm going to say underneath a bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA, and underneath this all-time high anchored VWAP, but over the uptrend line. Still bullish up here in quadrant 4. There's Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at our technicals. T2122, tight consolidation, muscling its way out of the sell zone. I just want to say that. They are definitely defiant about getting out of the sell zone and finding their way back into the seller's chop zone. If they keep this up, chances are we'll be at the midpoint, maybe sometime by tomorrow morning, all right, or higher. All right, we're stuck in the seller's chop zone right here. See this continuation of higher lows right through here, muscling our way out of the sell zone. It really looked like we were coming down into the oversold zone yesterday. Well, actually, day before, and we find ourselves muscling our way out. You can see here is our downtrend line. Here is our symmetrical triangle here. Price action muscling its way out back into the seller's chop zone. T2123. For the most part, it was red all day. All right. Bulls found a little inspiration to bring it back to VWAP here. That's where you see these green candles. Couldn't quite close over yesterday's open though. All right. So caught underneath this 200 SMA. Hopefully they can recover that, or maybe they have to come all the way back down here, test these lows, pick up some Popeye spinach, and then make a trip back up. We'll see what happens. T21 3-bar chart. Okay, we had a nice bull flag going. Now we're kind of losing it right through here. Okay, I liked it before when we had consolidation, especially for the bulls. When we had consolidation over prior consolidation. That was looking good. Now it looks like we're coming back to test that area. So we'll see if this prior high is going to hold, if they're going to come all the way back here, or they can recover this and regain the bull flag. There's T2123, again caught underneath this falling 200. I really thought they had a date with this valley over here between the two peaks. You got a peak right here, and you got another peak right there. So we have a valley that's right in here, okay, right in there, and I thought they were coming up to this green line valley right there, all right? They may not be done yet. This may be the higher low before they shoot up in there, all right? This may be pulling back the bow to shoot the arrow straight up in there. We'll see what happens. This is T2123. This is the 3-bar chart. Okay, let's take a look at FNGU. FNGU, more selling yesterday. You can see for the most part, we opened up the day red, and we carried on throughout most of the day with red. Okay, not much of a recovery there. You can see price action caught underneath the lower third down here. Price action just barely over VWAP. You can see now we've got consolidation, pre-market consolidation over prior consolidation. That's bullish right there. All right, so we may see a recovery program happen today. Look for a visit. If they choose to do so, a snap back to the 200 SMA right up here. All right, we're going to go back to FNGU just for a minute because I want to show you the nature of the drop. All right, we pick it up on the 2-hour chart. Okay, you can see the nature of the drop is hard and fast. When that happens, there is a possibility for a bounce all the way back up. All right, I'm just saying that the nature of it, you can see the drop allows for a bounce all the way back up. I'm just showing you this is the nature of the fall. There is an ability to bounce all the way back up. We'll see. All right. Notice they didn't melt into it slow. Had they melted into it slow, they could have definitely passed through. All right. But you can see price action, all right, kind of came down hard and fast. So there is that possibility of bouncing. All right. So we'll see what happens here with SPY if we're going to get a bounce. All right. Let's take a look at a few sectors and then we'll visit the economic package. First sector, SMH. And we'll look at it on the daily chart. You can see SMH just neutral, closing underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, no longer in the upper third. Look at all the times SMH is giving it up. All right, they go up, they give it up. They go up, they give it up. This is quadrant 4. This is the place to be. All right, if you want to be bullish, this is the place. All right, they go up, they give it up, up. See? They just have a habit of going up and giving up. They can't seem to hold more than 5 days or more up there. They just lose it every time they're up there. All right, so you can see here's price action again. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. No longer in the upper third, just neutral right now. Nothing says they can't go back up and keep it there. All right, maybe they're just not ready yet. All right, so there's SMH. Right now, just neutral, okay? On the bullish side of the quad lines, that's good, all right? But again, just neutral, all right? Let's take a look at it. XLK. Okay, XLK about 4 days ago made a new all-time high right there. And here they are almost ready to break out of the upper third yesterday, breaking some of that major support, kind of testing this area. Got a triple bottom down here, testing that triple bottom right through here yesterday on XLK. XLK is bullish, not acting bullish, but it's bullish up here in the upper third. Price action caught underneath this prior all-time high anchored VWAP, underneath the trap, underneath the 17. Just bullish up here, okay, in the upper third. And it's XLK. That's still looking good. I don't like the performance over the last 3 days. But that happens sometimes. As long as they can hold this here, that's looking good. You're showing a bull flag. That is a bullish environment up there. Last 4 days, not so bullish though. Let's take a look at XLF. XLF showing another bull flag. Again, for the last 4 days, not being very bullish. Price action yesterday for XLF. I'm just going to call it a lower low and a lower high, closing under a trap under the 17, but up in quadrant 4, that's still bullish. Let's take a look at IYT. IYT, this is quadrant 4. They can't seem to keep it up here in quadrant 4. All right, notice they get up there. All right, we move up, we give it up. All right, you move up, and then you give it up, and then we go up again, and we give it up, and then we go up again, and we give it up. All right, so just neutral. Okay, every time we get up there, we give it up. Okay, got to get up in the upper third, upper quadrant, and hold the higher ground. Okay, this is the secret, and it's no secret if you watch me. Price moves up and holds the higher ground. There's the bullish ones that you want to play bullish. All right, if they're moving up and giving it up, that's just neutral. Not to say that they can't make a trip up. I'm just saying these have the potential to go higher. All right, these have to struggle and get back up to just where they were. This is neutral. This is bullish right here. Okay, so IYT transports. All right, just neutral here. No longer in the upper third, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Underneath the uptrend line, underneath the trap, and underneath the 17. Okay, now possibility they recover that. We'll see what happens. All right, let's take a look at XLI. All right, XLI underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP in a downtrend, no longer in the upper third, just neutral here, losing the uptrend line, losing the consolidation over the all-time high anchored VWAP, just neutral here for XLI. All right. Let's take a look at XLU. Now this is going to surprise you. Look at that tight consolidation up there. This is kind of saying the market's looking at a possible recession. All right. We got a guy that's on the toilet tweeting, and a lot about tariffs. Tariffs could disrupt, the formula for making profits. All right? Tariffs could change the formula for making profits. Tariffs create uncertainty. And I'm just going to say the market does not like uncertainty. Okay? So we got a guy doing that. All right? And that creates a lot of uncertainty. And when that happens, you get these pullbacks. All right? So we're waiting for certainty. All right, so price action, XLU, nice tight consolidation. And notice that is bullish, all right? That's kind of pointing towards recessionary environment when you see the XLU making new all-time highs or maintaining a bullish posture up here in the upper quadrants or in the upper third, all right? I'm just saying that's pointing towards recessionary environment. All right, so there's XLU. I'm not saying that's what we got, but I'm just saying it kind of points to it. All right, so price action. Notice all of these days maintained over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That is bullish. Price action for the most part, except for yesterday. Was that today or yesterday? Yeah, that's yesterday. Was over the trap and over the rising 17. Okay. Price action up in the upper third, that's bullish. All right. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's bullish. All right. So there's XLU. Let's go take a look at XLE. It's our energy. Again, XLE just can't seem to hold the upper third. You can see all of the peaks that come into the upper third above my white crosshairs. All right. They just lose it every time they get up there. Price action yesterday, lower high, lower low, closing underneath this 12-month high anchored VWAP or 10-month high anchored VWAP, underneath this downtrend line, no longer in the upper third. They were there for one day and then they lost it. So just neutral here, okay, over the bullish side, on the bullish side of the midpoints. All right, so there's XLE moving up, giving it up. All right, we are getting some nice tight consolidation, muscling forward right here. I just want to point that out, that I don't think they're going to stay here for long. I think they're going to muscle their way back up into this upper third. I'm seeing the same thing that I saw in the XLU. All right, that type of price action that generates a location, destination somewhere up here. That's XLE. Let's take a look at it. UNG doing wonders here. Price action, higher low, higher high. Closing up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish, closing over the bullish trap, over the rising 17, and over this 12-month high anchored VWAP. That's bullish up there, quadrant 4. Okay, USO kind of pulling back. If it comes into this notch right here sometime today, or tomorrow, or this week, that would be a nice buying opportunity right through there after they check this breakup candle low. I think you get a bounce. I think. All right. Look, wait for the bulls to step in. But I think you get a bounce back up here into the buy box where we consolidate again up there. So here's price action, lower high, lower low. Closing underneath the midpoint, underneath the trap, underneath the falling 17, in a downtrend, heading back towards this uptrend line right through here, and this 3-year high anchored VWAP. Okay, I think after we tag that one more time, I think we find ourselves moving back up into the upper third. All right, so if they come down here and tag this, wait for those bulls to step in, and I think you find yourself rewarded back up here near 80. We'll see what happens. USO, okay? I'm just expanding on my opinion, all right? And that's all it is an opinion. There's USO. Let's take a look at GLD. GLD, not yesterday, but the day before, made a new all-time high. GLD yesterday, lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bullish trap over the rising 17, over the prior all-time high. And VWAP up here in quadrant 4. GLD is bullish. SLV also in an uptrend. Okay, price action, lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bearish trap underneath the 17, but above this 12-year high anchored VWAP. Price action not able to hold the upper third, just kind of neutral here. I think they regain this within by next week. I think so. We'll see. Maybe they want to check this midpoint for support. It's a possibility. They come back, check the midpoint for support, and then bounce back up there. There's SLV on the daily chart. All right, let's take a look at the, just did all of that. Let's take a look at the economic package. All right, going to run through this quick. I'm running out of time. All right, Max Payne, 595. These are for the SPY options. Okay, 595 is Max Payne. We got about two-thirds, just about two-thirds of a put, okay, to each call. All right, that expires today at 4:15. All right, so two-thirds of a put. Not much of a put squeeze scenario happening on that. Okay, on economic calendar today, got new home sales at 10, petroleum report at 10:30. Okay, so not much happening today. Okay, MBA mortgage applications came out at 7. Tomorrow is the main event. GDP at 8:30. Durable goods, 8:30. Jobless claims, 8:30. Pending home sales, 10 o'clock. A gas report at 10:30. All right, and then on Friday, we got 8:30. We got international trade in goods. We got personal income and outlays at 8:30. Retail inventories, 8:30. Wholesale inventories, 8:30. Chicago PMI at 9:45. And a rig count at 1, as always. And farm prices at 3 p.m. All right, so watch this. You're probably going to want to be hedged tonight. You got NVIDIA earnings tonight, and you got GDP Thursday morning. All right, so you might want to be hedged. If you don't know how to get hedged, come see me in the room and ask me. I will be happy to point out ways of hedging your positions. All right, so there's the economic calendar. All right, we did the Max Payne for the dollar. Dollar is in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. Price action closed down here near 106.21 area yesterday. I like this move down. I want to see it break the support right here. Coming into minor support. Want to see us get through minor support. Even better, through major support. We'll see what happens. Dollar currently in a downtrend. That typically is good for the market. Okay, on the earnings calendar, on the earnings front, tonight, NVIDIA reports after the close. Salesforce after the close. NVIDIA, $3.4 trillion. Salesforce, $304 billion. Lowe's Corporation reports this morning, $139 billion. TJX, $138 billion, also this morning. Anheuser-Busch, $92 billion, also this morning. Thursday, Fomento Económico Mexicano, $343 billion. That's a lot of pesos. They're going to report in the morning on Thursday, all right alongside GDP. Royal Bank of Canada, $169 billion. They're going to report in the morning with GDP. Toronto Bank, $105 billion, all right alongside of the other two banks and GDP. In the evening, Dell's going to report some more notables here. Nothing that's going to move the markets, all right? Familiar names. You got Vistra Corp, Hewlett Packard, Autodesk, EOG Resources, Dell Technologies. Again, all familiar names, but not going to move the markets like GDP would or somebody big like NVIDIA. All right, let's take a look at Friday. We've got two Berkshire Hathaways. Combine them together, you get about $2 trillion in Berkshire market cap. They're going to report They're scheduled to report. It doesn't look like they're going to report in the morning or the evening. They might not be ready yet. Okay, other than that, familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets. On Monday, familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets right there. All right, so we did the Max Payne. All right, we did the dollar, we did the earnings, we did the economic. I'll take questions in the room. Other than that, I'm going to render my video and try to get it out there. Good morning, Spy QQQ. Robert, scroll up in the chat. There should be a game plan in the chat. If you scroll up, you will see both of them up there. All right? All right, if there's no questions, I'm going to go render my video so we can get this out there for the masses. All right? And I will see you guys at 9:15. Thank you, everybody.